Hey, welcome to the Keep It Cute Show. I'm Sabrina.
And I'm DaKiya. And today, it's a little bittersweet. It is our season finale. Sis, can you believe our first season?
I cannot believe it at all.
I'm so proud
I feel like
of
we
us.
just started this.
And we did. It feels like we just started it. But we've had a lot of good times on season 1.
It's been so much fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
And we're sad to see that it's coming to the end, but it's not the end of us. But we'll talk about it in a second. But since it's the end of our first season, we wanted to look back at some of our favorite moments.
Absolutely. But before we jump into that,
yes,
icebreaker of the week. Mm-hmm. What is your confession?
I really wish that we could just play Usher confessions at the beginning of this icebreaker every week, but we can't clear that sample. So my confession of the week is actually inspired by you. So last week, your yes, you, my love. Last week, you said that your confession was that you were trying to unbig your back and work out more and get ready for the
tummy.
Get ready for the summer.
Let me sit up straight. Mm-hmm.
Right, and I was like, same, sis, same. So I've been not going to the gym like I used to. I have put on significant weight since the wedding. So my confession is that I bought a new home gym. So doing a home gym in upstairs and got a whole big contraption installed on Monday. And because I was lazy going to the gym, now I have no excuse to walk past this every morning and not get on it. So I have a whole home gym with an elliptical, the big old, what is it called? Smith machine with all the pulleys and the legs and the dumbbells and the heavy bag, all that stuff. So I have no excuse. So
and now you got it because you made this huge investment.
Yes. And
I'm proud of you.
I'm tired of hiding my belly with my cards.
I'm proud of you. I'm still going to keep it there for a second for me. I'm still working on it, y'all.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's my confession.
That.
So hopefully by season 2, I'll be, a little right, a little
we
tired.
We the cards down season 2.
Right. Get back to, wedding weight.
Yeah.
From by then.
Okay.
What's yours?
My confession isn't really that fun, but it's something that I decided to do, which is I paid off my credit card.
Good for you.
Oh, even though I want to put some stuff right back on it. Okay, I got a few things in different shopping bags that I'm ready to click,
I know that's right.
on. But I was like, you can buy this Hermes bracelet, Sabrina, or you can pay off your credit card, right? Mm-hmm. And so obviously the credit card is like the adult thing to do, the responsible thing to do, but it's not that new shiny thing that you get to like look at on your wrist. So,
okay, come on, Hermes bracelet. If you don't get it, send me the link. I'll let you borrow it.
We can twin out.
We can twin out.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll share between us. You have it on every alternating weeks.
You gonna want it in pink. We can't do that.
You know I love my pink.
We can't do that. Okay. So let's get into it. Okay, so we started this show because we wanted to create a fun and safe space to talk about real issues, real people, real situations. A lot of the conversations we would just have on our own. We just wanted to bring it to you all because we felt like people could relate. These are things that we felt like people our age, around our age would understand. And I'm so glad that we did it.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and that's how the Keep It Cute show was born.
Yes, and we've had a lot of great topics on this season 1. But our very first episode was about reality TV. It was about Ready to Love. So we met on Ready to Love on the OWN network. We were on the Potomac season of Ready to Love. And we figured that since that's where most people knew us from, that we give a recap of our experiences, a recap of what happened behind the scenes, and then also where we are now with love. And on that season, you found out that I got married. Sabrina was a bridesmaid at our wedding, and she is engaged to Walter Maxwell Jones from Ready to Love DC. So let's take a look at our episode where we talked all things Ready to Love.
So getting to the dispelling of the rumors.
Ooh.
I want to start with you.
Okay.
Because you had a big one, which was like, why didn't you self-eliminate? I think that was like a constant theme in like some of the reactions. Was like, why didn't you self-eliminate? Did you just want to make it to the end? Like, I think that was like a common comment around you. So what do you want to say about that?
That comment I saw a lot. And let me tell you, I tried. I tried to self-eliminate. By the time we got to the getaway weekend, I was done. The writing was on the wall. I saw what was going on. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I think you and I were both like in one of the rooms talking about it. Like, okay, we're ready to go. But I love you. but you beat me to it. Like,
I was not playing. I pulled the producers to the side of the getaway, like, I'm done here.
Yeah, so
I am done.
You self-eliminated before I could.
Yeah.
And at that point, a lot of people had already left. Ace had left. Tina had left. You had left. Like, at that point,
Eric was gone.
But we filmed the reunion like late February, something like that. It was sometime in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was, I felt like people were revisiting emotions. I felt like people went in with an agenda to like correct or address whatever issues that they had because they knew it was their last time to do it. And I think that some people were triggered. Just to, in all honesty, they were triggered. They were like, I'm going to tell you how I felt because it's the last time I saw you. I'm going to see you. So I think there was a lot of that there.
And the problem is, again, like I said, we're filming this in February. The season didn't premiere until the last week in January. So at that point, we've only seen 3, maybe 4 episodes. So when we're filming a reunion, we haven't seen the whole season yet. So a lot of the emotions that you saw were people not really understanding what was going to happen later on. We're seeing, they do show us some clips, but we don't see the full episodes until you guys see them. So when we filmed the reunion, a lot of pieces were still missing. And people were reacting to what they thought they know. But that's why you'll see me say, run the film, run the footage. Apparently people don't think that certain things happen, run the footage because it was all right there on tape.
Feelings were running high that day. I would say the cast was so dysfunctional at that point. Like, it was so dysfunctional that they had to strategically put us in 2 separate rooms. Like, you are in this room because we know you don't get along with those people, so those people don't think. Like, we were so divided as a cast that like even production wanted to make sure that we weren't mingling before we were on camera together because they wanted to capture everything. They wanted to capture all of the tension, all of like that smoke. They wanted everything.
And that, we definitely got so divided. Like, I always say that we went from Ready to Love to Survivor real quick. I didn't know that I was signing up for a reality show where you had to strategize and plan and manipulate and all that other crazy stuff. I thought I was trying to find love. But because people got so strategic and manipulative and wanted to try to shape their own narrative and shape everybody else's narrative, it got so messy that the producers really had to separate.
People were thinking, like, they were looking at going home as a failure versus, like, my person's just not here. People were looking at going home as, like, I think someone called it, like, a walk of shame. You know what I mean? Like, when in reality, you tried something new. Kudos to you. Your person wasn't there. That's fine. May you, like, you know, best wishes. People weren't looking at it from that standpoint. They were looking at it as, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to not be chosen. I don't want to fail. I want to win. And therefore, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that other people are looking bad or other people are leaving early, or I want to make sure that me and my boo make it to the end. Like, I want us to be the success story of like this season. You know, they were so focused on that rather than it just being like an organic experience.
Right.
Like, it became like definitely like Survivor.
Right.
Let's talk about something that I feel like has come up and you have been asked, like, regarding the timing of your marriage, right?
Yes.
So you are married to the wonderful Alex Williams.
I'm married Alex Williams.
Yes.
We got married on July 8th, 2023. And you're right. People keep asking me, like, how did I get married so quickly after the show? But people forget that we filmed this show in 2021.
You're right.
Like, we filmed the show in 2021. I got married in 2023. It was a nice long time between then. And Alex and I actually knew each other since we were 13 and 14 years old. We actually went to high school together. And we've known each other since we were really young, but we never dated. Like, didn't even look at each other to date.
You know, I don't believe that, right?
But I'm so serious.
Look at him.
I mean, I never looked at him in a relationship kind of way. If I'm being completely honest, he's probably I don't know. I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna keep it cute, but I'm gonna still say it anyway. He was the choir boy. He was the church boy. And I was a good girl, but at the same time,
She liked the bad boys.
I like the bad boys. Yeah. So I like the bad boys.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I'm the good guy.
Now you are. Yes, you are, brother. Yeah. But yeah, I like the bad boys. And then I also knew that I was kind of like a free liver. Like, I like to explore. I wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live.
Yeah.
And I knew that he was a little bit more on the conservative side when I wasn't really there.
Yeah.
But I think that now it was the perfect timing because I kind of calmed down a little bit and he kind of relaxed a little bit. So we're kind of meeting in the middle now. So, but no, I never really looked at him before because
I just feel like he was plotting on you a lot earlier than I don't know.
He might have. I don't know. He said he wasn't.
He's been there for some pretty critical moments.
He has been there for some critical moments. So, fun fact, or I guess it's not fun, but we've talked about it on the show before that I was engaged before, and I found out he was cheating 3 weeks before the wedding, canceled it, and so I had to put him out my house, and so I wanted some men to be there when I put him out the house, so just in case, my ex was 6'5", so just in case something went down, I wanted to have guys there, but I wanted them to be like good dudes, Christians that's not going to start nothing, but are strong enough to be able to handle something. So Alex was one of the guys that I asked to be at the house while I was putting him out. Yeah. And Alex is actually the one that like closed the door behind him, locked the door, and helped me change the locks.
Wow.
Yeah. That and like also when you told me you did like the 40th birthday party, you just like open call like, hey, I'm going to Jamaica. Yes. Whoever wants to come can come. And he showed up.
Yes.
I'm like, to me, that's plotting. Like, you don't just randomly go to Jamaica to like, you know what I'm saying?
He was either slow walking her.
Yes.
Right? Or maybe there was really a genuine friendship there. Because a lot of times that can go either way. You can be genuinely friends. I have female friends that I'm great friends with.
Yeah.
I will never date them because I know all their dirt.
Well, you can't date them anyway.
I know how they really are. So I'm like, I can't be in a relationship with you because I know. Can we say nigga?
You can say whatever you want.
I know some women are niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, but as a friend, hey, we are great as friends, but I would never date you. So that's a beautiful thing if you guys really were genuine friends.
We were genuine friends.
And then still came to the conclusion that I still want to be with this person.
I'm gonna have to ask him when the switch flipped for him. Because I feel like it was earlier.
He says that it was more so on the 40th birthday trip in Jamaica.
Yes,
it might have been more.
Who flies out by himself?
He flew out with one of our other friends.
Okay. But still.
Yeah. But still. So that was December of 2021, right after we had started filming, before the show even aired. And so on that birthday trip, I started looking at him a little different. My mom started calling him son-in-law. I was like, Mama, if you don't stop calling this man son-in-law, that is just Alex. She was like, no, that's my son-in-law. I was like, whatever, Mama. But mamas know. Yeah. And then I brought him to the premiere of our show in January, and you started calling him Bestie Bae.
I was like, why are we overlooking this person right here? He seems nice. He's attractive.
Right. So that I went to him at the premiere of the show, and I was like, apparently everybody thinks that we should be together. Yeah. And his reply was, maybe that's a conversation that we need to have. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. Okay. And so because of that, I think that like by the time that the reunion aired and everything was done, it was like a few months later, you were engaged, right?
So yes. So I know it was a quick engagement. So we started dating in late January. We filmed the reunion in February. And then by the end of June, we were engaged. So it only took 6 months for us to get engaged. But again, we had known each other since we were 13. Yes. I knew his family. He knew my family. We've known each other, who we are.
And you guys are grown.
And we're grown. It don't take a whole day. I always say from the Common song, it don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine.
If you song is that?
Common, my other bald head, light skinned dude. You know I have a type. But I always say it doesn't take all day. You don't have to date for 10 years before you decide if this is the person that you're going to marry at this age. 6 months later we were engaged, and a year after that we got married.
Okay, so let's talk about the beautiful wedding. What were you going to say?
I was going to say that, one, everything is as it should be.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Everything that you've been through prepares you for the moment that you're in. And a lot of times with men, you have to catch a man in his window.
You're right.
Men have windows of opportunity. They were like, if I find the right woman right now, I'm going to be good to her. I'm going to be faithful. That's going to be the one. And a lot of times women blame themselves or blame men for, not being right at certain times or not acting the right way. It's just you didn't catch that man in his window. Why was he so bad to me, but he's perfect for this other woman? Maybe losing this person caused him to say, you know what, the next woman I meet, I'm going to be good to her. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't vet that woman correctly. And you end up getting your heart broke by the next woman, and then that cycle starts over again. Yeah. Now you're not in your window anymore. You meet a good woman.
And now you trash,
do you guys have that same conversation where it's like, I ain't gonna sell that with nobody right now. F these hoes. I'm gonna be a fuck boy. Do you guys say that?
We don't say fuck boy.
We do.
The
same way you're like, hey, I'm in my window. Do you have like the opposite?
Yeah, guys have those conversations.
Okay.
Where we're like, you know what?
So y'all know y'all gonna go into it just being trash.
it's not that we're going to go into it being trash. We're in a trash window. It's
a season of
trash.
It's
a season of trash.
Okay.
It's a season of treachery and debauchery. You know, and that's where we are. And unfortunately, sometimes you find a good woman when you're in that season, and you're like, ooh, I'm still in the season, but I don't want to let her go.
You lead her on.
You don't lead her on. You genuinely, there's the dynamic with men is different. We can love you and still be trash. It has nothing to do with our feelings and our emotions that we're trash.
Oh Lord,
that's how men.
That's
are.
a lot to unpack right there.
Yeah,
it is. We can have that in a whole different conversation.
Right. I think that needs to be one of our future episodes.
Definitely, we can talk about.
Make a note of that.
Okay, but let's talk about your beautiful wedding.
Okay.
Yes.
Which I was a bridesmaid.
You were a gorgeous
and he
bridesmaid.
attended.
Yeah, I got there right on time.
Yes. So we got married, like I said, July 8th in 2023 at the National Harbor right outside of Washington, D.C., right overlooking the Potomac River. So Ready to Love Potomac. We got married on the Potomac. So I think that was a little tie in there.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful.
It was.
The dancers.
Yes, I had my students, my dancers, be my flower girls. So I had 4 of my dancers have a whole routine down the aisle, throwing hundreds and hundreds of blush and ivory petals.
Yeah.
I'm a pink girl, so of course pink was
everywhere.
the color. Yes.
The singer was on point too.
He was amazing. Kenny, he sings at our church. He's an amazing singer. He sang Rotimi, I Do, As I Walk Down the Aisle. Our friend Bo played the acoustic guitar while I was walking down the aisle. All I can say is the ceremony was just thick with love. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that I've ever been, I mean, maybe I'm just biased because it was my wedding, but I don't think that I've been in a ceremony that was so emotional for everybody. Like, everybody was just overwhelmed with love. And I remember looking out to the crowd and his people and my people all intermingled. And I just I couldn't hold it together.
I mean, people were crying before you even got out there.
Yeah.
And then you came down and it was like, oh my God. Like, let's make sure we get pass the tissue up here, pass the tissue up from the back. Like, it was really, it was waterworks.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day. Of course, there were hiccups, but in the end of the day, everybody had a great day. I love the way y'all are looking at each other. I can't wait to get there.
She looks great.
I see him looking at me and I'm like,
I haven't seen her all day.
What did I say?
Okay, but so let me tie this up so we can get to you guys.
Yeah.
So
So how is it going?
it's going well. So I will say, marriage is everything you thought it would be and nothing that you thought it would be at the same time. Like,
yes.
It is a lot. There are moments where it's eternal bliss, and I'm so happy knowing that I'm waking up to the man that I love every day. You know what I mean? I go to sleep with him. I wake up to him every day, and I know that I can count on him being there. But I ain't gonna lie, sometimes that man get on my nerves. Like, and I get on his too. But that's the part of growing into this new family that we're creating, growing into this new experience. Neither one of us have been married before, so it's a new experience for both of us. It's a little bit newer for him. He's never even had a roommate, let alone live with a woman.
Really
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After he left his parents' house, he's lived alone. So all I know is when it was time for me to leave, I looked over and you guys were just engulfed in each other.
It was like the first night continued.
Yeah, there was such a
magnetic
magnetic connection.
It
It was magnetic. It was like,
And plus, she had some drama going on, but we only got to bring that up.
we didn't have no drama going on.
You had. We didn't have drama. You had drama.
I didn't have drama going on. Some of the people from our season showed up, and conversations were had, and emotions were still
intense conversations
still happening.
And I'm observing from the outside, like, what is going on? And I'm looking at it like, I'm trying to give it out. Do you need me to say it? Do you need me to say it?
But we spent the entire night in each other's faces.
Yeah,
we didn't kiss. We didn't
kiss, though.
We didn't kiss though. We were definitely like hugged up and very like close, but we did not kiss the first
We were
night.
just breathing each other's breath.
Yeah.
Okay, so now you guys are together. So at that point, after our premiere, you guys got together and
Like
everything.
inseparable.
Yeah, we were
after
pretty
that.
inseparable after that.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, how do you guys make your relationship work?
Honestly, there was a statement that she made because we were, that beginning stage where you don't know where you are. And I remember we had a conversation and she was like, are we moving towards exclusivity or not? Like, I thought we were moving towards exclusivity. And I was like, well, in order to do that, we need to have this conversation. And at first she was like, well, I'm gonna fall back. And I was like, don't fall back, let's have the conversation. And I even told her, I'm like, I don't jump into exclusivity. Like, I usually fight it. You know what I'm saying? I like to vet the person thoroughly because if I fall hard. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to fall hard for somebody that's not purely vetted.
Yeah.
And I remember her telling me, she was like, instead of giving me the worst of you, why don't we both just give each other our best?
I love that.
And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
And you can say that you gave.
It works out. But we can say that we gave our best. Mm-hmm. And it's been the best. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It really has been.
I forgot about that conversation.
See?
Yeah, that's true.
Everything.
That's true.
I remember all of those important moments. Because I was like, wow, I thought she G'd me. I was like, yo, she had some serious,
I did.
That was some serious game.
I did right there. What's this guy?
Why don't you just give your best? You know what I'm saying? I'll give my best, you give your best. And if it works out, it works out. No, I was like.
And we continue that too.
That's a pimp game right there. She.
Like, in terms of like keeping our best, we continue that too. Because one of the mottos of our relationship is like to spoil each other and to try to spoil each other every day. Like, so if there's like a small act of kindness or something to show the other, like it could be as simple as like, I brought you back a coffee because I was at the coffee shop and I knew you might want one, or I ran upstairs to grab your glasses because we about to watch TV and you can't see.
I think that's so sweet when you do that.
When you can't see. So instead, don't get up, I'll go get your glasses. Like it could be something really small.
Or she wakes up in the morning, baby, I would really like to have.
He is the chef in our. He is the chef
I'm like
in our
this, like she hasn't even opened up her eyes. I hear.
She wants that fried egg and that avocado toast. She is such a millennial from the West Coast, honey.
Exactly. Another thing we do is we don't go more than 2 days without being intimate. Like we try to keep that as our thing.
Yes, sis, I love that for you.
Yeah. So
I love that for you.
I mean,
Are you serious?
Like, did we fuck yesterday?
Are you serious?
Yeah, so it can't be more than 2 days. Like that's and if it is over 2 days, we know that each other is like.
I get snappy. I get grouchy.
We both do. I
get grouchy. I'm like, and if she's grouchy, I'm like.
She needs some.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we kind of know that, like, okay, and it, there just has to be some type of intimacy, physical intimacy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At least.
We're touchy feely all the time.
Yeah.
Right?
Not the gravity.
That gotta happen.
Hold on.
You know how daddy get when he don't get his medicine. You know what I mean? I need my medicine.
I hear you.
So there's that.
In addition to bringing my man on the show, we had some awesome guests join the show. And I mean, just like our girl, Carrie Carter, who we actually met through Ready to Love, Libba Liv from Ready to Love as well. We also had Winter Harris, who's not from not from Ready to Love, but Love and Marriage DC came on the show. We had your boy,
Lonnie B.
who's now my boy, Lonnie B joined, as well as the ever so fabulous Riley Knox as well joined the show. And
Love
so
Riley.
We just had some really awesome people come to the show. And I just really want to thank them for just, supporting us, supporting our vision, and just making this such a fun experience. They were dope.
They were so dope. They had definitely helped to set our season off right.
Mm-hmm. They set the standard. Now I'm like, okay, the rest of y'all, can y'all live up to the first guest?
Right.
Okay?
So next season, we're going to see who we bring on, and they have a big shoe to fill.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we have talked about a lot of important topics, and one that keeps kind of coming back up is friendship. So let's get into some clips about us talking about friends. How many of us have them?
Now that you've met friends in your adulthood, you've been able to meet people, have you had a crazy experience with a new friend? Drake said no new friends, but in this season, we're getting new friends. Have you had a crazy experience with a new friend?
I have. I've had a few crazy experiences. Like, I had an experience with a friend who changed when she would drink. And it wasn't like a positive change or she was fun. She was mean.
They said your true colors come out when you drink.
She was a mean drunk. Was so mean where it was like uncomfortable because she was mean to other people. She got us kicked out of a couple of Ubers.
Oh, not the Uber. We're on the side of the street in DC?
Yes, would talk to people crazy. And I called her. It's funny because I told her she would we had a name for it. I think it was Ellen or something like that, because I told her she acted like a racist white lady. She was black. But I was like, you act like a racist white lady when you get drunk. And she did. And it's funny because she would get this, like, her eyes would get real small, and then her demeanor, it's like personality change. I was like, oh shit.
Scary. That's kind of scary.
It was. And I could see it, because once I started to get to know her, I was like, okay, she's drunk, because now she's turned into racist Ellen. You know? And so once it became like, you're putting me in uncomfortable positions, like you're being very disrespectful.
Yeah, that's not safe.
No, it wasn't safe. And the next day she wouldn't remember anything. And so she was
Did she not remember it?
Question, Ellie, did she really
was she just pretending?
Did she really not remember? It might have been an act. Who knows?
Convenience.
All I know
Convenient amnesia.
I don't want to participate. I'm good on this.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that was probably the craziest encounter. Also, like, you know, a friend who I became friends with very, very, very quickly. And this is why I say you got to take your time with making friends, because picking friends and making new friends is kind of like dating, right?
Yeah,
so
it really is.
Yeah, you got to let the layers unfold. Like they have their representative right now. So everything is great. They seem like an amazing person, but they're still human. So you got to let the flaws start to come out.
I always say that you have to pick your friends like you pick your fruit. You have to wait for it to ripen before you can actually really enjoy it.
Yes. And see how they are in different scenarios, you know, or
that part.
When you have your first disagreement, how do they disagree with you? You know, a healthy friendship is not just checking on you. You know, a healthy friendship is when you can be 100% yourself.
Yes.
You know, when you can have those ugly cries because you're having a bad day, when you can go months without talking to each other, but pick up
like you never left.
Yeah, like you never left. I have a friend. She is my sister. She's not even a friend at this point. We've known each other since we were 3 years old. And she lives in Texas. And sometimes we'll go 5-6 months without seeing or checking on each other. When we'll check, hey sis, I'm just checking on you. You good?
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm always going to get that message from her, and I know she is a lifer. Like, period. She can call me and be like, I'm done, or I'm done with this nigga. I need you to show up. I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I know that about her, and I feel like that is what true friendship is. It turns into a sisterhood. You know?
That's the type of friendship I need. I am not the friend, and I know, you know, some people can see this as a bad thing, but I'm not the friend that's going to be at, you know, every weekend we're hanging out. I'm not the friend that we're going to be at brunch every Sunday. I got 2 full-time jobs. I'm a newlywed. I got a lot of other projects I'm working on.
Yeah.
Booked and busy.
I'm booked and busy. A little too busy. I'm going to work on that in 2024.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I need friendships that, number one, understand that just because I don't talk to you every week doesn't mean that I don't love you.
Right.
That they understand that, you know, it might be a couple weeks before we hang out again. It might be a month before, you know, this or that, we go to a big event, but it's no love lost. And I love our friendship because I think that we had to figure that out because, you know, you're out and about. You are the social butterfly.
Energizer Bunny.
Energizer Bunny.
How she got that energy?
I calm down though. Bunny has calmed me down.
She is at every event, and I am in my house. I'm either at work or I'm at home.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'll be outside.
I'm in the suburbs now. I'm no longer a city girl. I lived in the city my whole life. Now I'm in the suburbs and I'm far. So it takes me a lot to get out of this house.
I get it.
But at the same time, like those friendships that can understand, like just because I don't talk to you every day doesn't mean that there's no love lost. But at the same time, we still have to make sure that we're actively working the friendship and nurturing it. To make sure that the person doesn't feel like just a second thought.
So based on that, you talk about your day ones and the people that have known you from way back when. So you and I are both from Southeast DC.
Oh, come on now.
Come on. We are both from Southeast DC.
And we made
it out. So we got to another level.
Yes.
So have you had an experience
No,
with those?
you got to another level. Baby, I'm still on the food stamp list.
But no, so like, have you had an experience when those people that are from our hood that you grew up with, you know, now that you are experiencing this new level, you realize, dang, I might not be able to maintain this friendship at this new level I'm at just because it has become a little more challenging, a little more toxic, a little more like, you know, you have to kind of figure that out. Like, have you had that experience, like those day ones from where we came from, now that we're on these other levels, that it's a challenge to maintain those friendships?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But then you got those real day ones.
Those real ones.
Those ones that even that's still there and they respect where you are.
Yeah.
And they even seen it in you when you were there and they still support you.
Yes.
So they'll tell you things like, you don't need to come around here. Just go ahead and do your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing around here for you. Like, they'll tell you things like that. I have been told things like that from certain people that live around my grandfather way. Like, don't come around here. Ain't nothing around here. But you doing well. I see you doing your thing.
Right.
So those ones, you know, you respect. But then you got those other ones who really wasn't your friend. They was just benefiting from you at that moment, and then when you do evolve, they make excuses of why you should come back around.
The crabs in the barrel.
Yeah, why you should do this.
You too bougie now.
Yeah, they make all those and try to make you feel bad. I mean, make you feel bad about succeeding because they have not yet accepted failure.
Ooh. Oh, I did the little red table talk. Ooh.
Do you feel like there's an element of that? It's also because y'all just have less in common.
True.
Yeah, but then also by us being around the same, you know, neighborhood in the same environment, certain people want to grow and certain people don't.
Yeah.
Certain people are comfortable. Certain people just ain't shit people.
And they don't want to admit that to themselves.
They don't.
It's everybody else's fault.
It's hard to admit when it's your fault.
It really is.
You know,
that accountability.
Yeah, accountability can be
Accountability
hard,
is hard
sometimes. Because it put pressure on you. And then sometimes you question yourself, am I a failure?
Yeah.
You know? And that took me a long time to get to that point where I can actually admit that, bitch, you was wrong.
Yeah.
Like, that
was a left turn.
Yeah,
that was a left turn.
Always try to make excuses. You know what I'm saying? Instead of accountability.
Right. Yeah. Explain why you did it instead of like, nah, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done it. But
and give yourself some grace. Like, you know, just because you're taking accountability doesn't mean you got to beat yourself up. Like, you know, I did it the best as I could. I should have done it better. But like, let me learn.
Mistakes are lessons.
They are lessons. They are lessons. One of my favorite quotes is that I never lose. I either win or I learn. Yes. You know what I mean? And I feel that way, what you said, like, you know, mistakes are lessons.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Let's go get now.
I guess I'm going to toss this to you where, like, do you feel like friendship breakups have, like, changed you or have formed you into who you are today?
Yes. Hell yeah. Yeah, because, you know, leaving certain people, sometimes you see more of the situation when you're out of the situation.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in it...
Yeah, because you just diagnosed this real quick.
Yeah, when you in it, it's just like, okay, you're not really paying attention to certain things. But you know, when you start being around somebody or just like a bad relationship and y'all break up and then you start thinking about stuff, you're like, damn, I never thought about that. It was right in front of you, but you just never paid attention to it. So when you get out of certain situations, it really helped you reevaluate the situation that you were in.
Yes. Yes. And I feel that.
Yeah. So you told us before that you had a few friendship breakups in your life.
Yes.
What have you learned from those relationships about yourself?
That's a good one. That is a really good question. Ooh, that was a good one. I need that wine. Well, I know one thing that I learned about myself is that not to be gullible. Not to be gullible. You know, it's okay with saying no. It's okay with saying no because sometimes we feel like we have to be there for people.
Right.
We have to put whatever we going through on the show and handle what it is that you're going through. That makes us a good friend. Like, and it also helped me to find out what is a good friend.
Right.
Yeah, what is a friend? You know, because a lot of people try to just throw words around nowadays, like sister, brother, friend,
good
like
girlfriend.
Good girlfriend. Like, people just throw words around it. So you really have to find out the definition of those things. But for me, it made me a little bit more wiser. It made me wiser. Certain situations forced me to grow up faster. Because a lot of times we be with friends like that we went to middle school with. And we try to keep that middle school energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because we be having so many good memories back then. We try to relive those memories and it causes us to keep that same behavior.
Right.
Not realizing that we are old as hell.
I'm a grown ass.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So certain things we can't do no more.
Yeah.
So that's what it done for me. And getting away from those friendships, it made me realize that certain things I just can't do no more.
Do you feel like you're losing more friendships than you're making them now?
I feel like that I'm gaining I'm gaining a circle of love.
How important is honesty? Do you believe in like full honesty? Like how important is it in a friendship? And like, how do you feel? How are your thoughts on that?
So for me, it's levels to it. I have some friends and some associates and some acquaintances that we keep it kind of surface level. You know what I mean? We don't have that kind of accountability. Sometimes people are a little more aggressive or haterish when they try to check you. Sometimes it comes out a little bit off of jealousy or, you know, just trying to one up you and like they're trying to, let me put her in her place. So those are the type of people that are on my outer circle. Actually, not even in any circle, if I'm going to be completely honest.
I wouldn't even consider that a friend.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my inner circle or my true friends, you know, those are the people that if anybody's going to check me, I want it to be them because I know that it's going to come from a place of honesty, of truth, of love, and to try to better me. Like, girl, get your stuff together, you know? So I do think that it's important to be able to have that kind of friendship where you are your sister's keeper. Like, now, sis, now you know you should not have done that. And I definitely have had times when somebody had to sit me down like, you sure? What about you?
I think it's true. I kind of feel like there's levels to it. And I feel like there are friends where I could be like, bitch, you was tripping. Like just straight up, bitch, you was tripping. Then other friends where I feel like because they're sensitive or because they'll start to feel like they need to pop back or whatever.
That defensiveness.
They'll get really defensive or whatever. I feel like I kind of have to massage it a little bit more. Like I gotta be,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go.
No, I call that you gotta sprinkle some sugar on the shit.
Yeah, definitely. I gotta warm them up, butter them up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like depending on the friend, but to me, I try to be the friend that I want. You know what I mean? Like in return. And so some people don't agree with that. Some people feel like, you know, what you need in a friendship and what I need in a friendship are two separate things and we don't have to match each other. And I always find that to be very weird. But like, I want to be the friend that I want you to be. So if I'm tripping, be like, Sabrina, you tripping. And in my experience, I have had people say that. Most often my sister. Most often my sister's the one who tells me that. But I think it's just important. I think you have to be honest with someone if you truly love them. It wouldn't be us and it wouldn't be the Keep It Cute show if we did not talk about love. So love has been a recurring theme throughout this season. So take a look.
And that's another thing. When I put the ring on, she was like, do you want me to wear this? Because I know how much this means to you, right?
Yeah.
And my mom also had an engagement ring that I had her try on as well. And it was like 0.8 carats, you know. And she was like, if you want me to wear this, I will wear this because I know it has value. And I'm like, baby, that is so small. She was like, I'll wear it. And to me, that had my eyes almost ready to sweat because I'm like, she's not tripping about what other people think. She's not thinking about how big the ring is and all that type of stuff. She's like, it's about us and what's sentimental to us.
Yeah.
And that meant so much to me. So like that just even in that moment just reassured me even more that I was making the right decision.
Like, do you feel like in retrospect there was like a lesson to be learned maybe the second time around?
I think my lesson to be learned was not moving so fast.
Yeah.
Because that was, to be quite transparent and honest, the kids and I, Dad, we didn't date that long either before we got married. We were probably dating for like 9 months.
Oh, so you're a free fall type of person.
Yes. I am the hopeless of all hopeless romantics. That is literally ingrained in my soul. Like, I believe in all the bells and whistles and the things.
Me too. I'm the same way.
Yes. So, this lesson swung back around and I didn't pass it. I'm very grateful for it, and I feel like I've learned a lot of lessons, but I've always kept my heart open. I think regardless of what I've been through a lot in my love life. I've been through a lot in my life, but I'm grateful that it hasn't hardened me.
Yeah. How do you stay open? Like for women out there who maybe have had a few relationships that didn't work out, maybe they have a few divorces under their belt, like how would you advise them to stay open?
I think a lot of that is rooted in my faith. I don't feel like God will ever let the last that I had be the best that I had.
Come on.
I just feel like he's faithful like that. If it was bad, he's not going to let that be my last experience, right? Yeah. So I think, my faith has been very instrumental in just
trust in him.
Absolutely.
Leading you to something better. Yeah,
absolutely. I feel like what you carry is what attracts. And so I try to carry an open heart. I try to carry an open mind. I always try to lead with love. I always try to believe the best.
Good intentions. All that.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I believe you get that back. I feel like it is never, so I always say this, and I think I had tweeted this last week maybe, and I said, there's never any harm in having loved and loved well.
Yes. I saw you tweet that.
Yes. And that's true. You don't lose by trying to love someone well.
Even if it doesn't work.
Even if it doesn't work.
Love better.
You know, Shakespeare, it's better to have loved than lost than to have never loved at all.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And some people never get that experience.
Exactly.
So I'm like, take it all in stride. I feel like as long as you have breath in your body, you have another
opportunity to love again. Exactly. I said the same thing on our season with Paul. He was like, have you had your heart broken? I was like, too many times to count. Yeah. But at the same time, it doesn't make me bitter. It doesn't make me jaded. If you love and you believe that this is what is going to be in your life and you are called to love and be loved, I don't care how many times my heart is broken. I'm going to still fight for it, love it, and be open to it when it comes in its proper form.
Absolutely.
And I believe in seasons and reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, so true.
Too. You know what I mean?
So how did you know that the honeymoon phase was just over? Like, was there like, okay, we're not going on date nights? Is he not being romantic? Like, what was that for you guys?
It wasn't like that for me. It wasn't like a non-romantic note, because we even to this day we are intentional on continuing.
You guys are really good about date nights.
Yeah,
you guys are really good about that.
We do date nights, and he still gets me flowers for no reason. Like he tries. It's just who he is to his core. But where it got real was just like, when you start having those uncomfortable conversations, when you start letting each other know that you're kind of getting on my nerves,
that part.
Yeah. And so it's not, that doesn't feel good. So, because at first you're being nice, you don't want to argue, and you want to keep, you're letting a lot of things slide. And I like to see like those memes on IG where they're like, couples have been together for 6 months versus couples been together for 6 years.
Yes.
And a girl was
completely
like,
different.
the guy was like, oh, can I have this last bag of chips? She's like, oh yeah, go ahead. And then for the 6 year relationship, he took the last bag of chips. She's like, see, why you want to take the last bag? Yeah, exactly. So I feel like you start, you're best friends, right? Yeah. So you argue with your best friend. Your best friend gets on your nerves sometimes, and then imagine living with your best friend. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's where we're at. It's like, that honeymoon phase changed once there were days where he get on my nerves and I get on his nerves. Yeah. You go through phases where you don't really like each other that much, or you kind of need that space or whatever. I feel like everybody, it's just the human nature part,
I feel like in the beginning, you guys are like both on your best behavior. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like, you're just so smitten, you're so in love that you're like, oh, I'll let it slide, or oh, it doesn't matter, oh, whatever. And then after a while, you're like, no, I don't like that, or no, I need you to pick that up, or no, so you start to be a little bit more vocal a little bit, you know what I mean? And I don't know if that's because you're less fearful that that person's going to be turned off. So now you're going to just like say whatever it is that you want to say. But I also felt like for me in particular, I felt like my patience was like growing thin. You know what I'm saying? Like I was getting much more irritated much more quickly, and I was like, shit. You know what I'm saying? So like watching that was something that I'm like trying to do. Just being very accountable has been something that I've been trying to do more of, that like it's not always him. You know what I mean? Sometimes, Sabrina, you be tripping. You know what I mean? Like, I think that like owning that and being okay to say like, baby, I'm sorry I was having a moment, or baby, I'm sorry I was just like, what? I've been trying to do better at that instead of trying to always paint him as the problem. Yeah. So that's something, because I think that that's important for him to hear too. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Because if they don't have that reassurance, then it's going to only get worse. They're going to do less and less.
Yeah. Right. Like no matter what, you're always the right one, Sabrina. No matter what, I'm always the problem. So I think like acknowledging that I'm not perfect has been something that I really have to like do. Doesn't mean that it comes naturally. Right. And doesn't mean that I do it like, easily. So I'm like, or I'm trying to move on real fast. But that's something that I've been trying to do more of.
And I didn't realize this before, but I speak in absolutes a lot. Like I speak in absolutes, saying like, you never do such and such and such, or you always blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, I always do it. I never do that. And so I'm like, oh, okay. I don't mean never. When I say it, I don't mean it. But I'm just saying more times than not. So I did find that he internalizes like, oh, so you didn't appreciate when I did it. So you're going to say I didn't do it anyway. So I might as well not do that.
Right.
So I have to do better at not speaking in absolutes. So I'm trying to watch my tongue.
And, we had to keep it cute. So we brought my girl in Riley Knox to talk about gowns, gorgeous gowns, in the words of Aretha Franklin. So let's get into some fashion tips with the one and only Riley Knox.
I love this so much. And then they put an applique on top of it that is the same as the bustier.
Yeah. And she's always styled so nice. I love the print of it too. It's almost like palm trees, but it's not.
Yes.
I like it. I like that.
Yes, it's very different. It's something you just haven't seen.
Yeah.
There's your pink again.
And, got a little pink in there.
And I think the way you replicate this for, every day is basically pairing things that kind of you wouldn't think of that goes together. The metallic metallics are always in with the pink. So it's like the hard and the soft.
Yeah, love it.
I never really think of that, like the hard and the soft one. Like usually you either have on something like super girly, or like mix it up with something soft. Like I would say like the equivalent to that would be like having like a sweet little cute like lacy dress on and then throwing on like a leather jacket or throwing on a blazer.
Oh, okay.
Throwing on something metallic, something that is more edgy over the soft.
Oh, I love that. I like that. Lace and leather. I love that. Yeah.
It's sexy. I learned this from drag queens, and I learned this from being on stage. I have maybe 2 to 3 minutes to change on stage, so I have to apply this on stage because I don't have time to touch on my makeup. I spray hairspray on my makeup, and I mean douse myself in hairspray.
Oh wow! Okay.
And while I'm sweating on stage, it never moves. It never. And it's funny because now people are making setting sprays that are modeled after hairspray. Patrick started one because it is an old drag queen's trick. They'd spray like the guys to be glued on their face.
Oh wow!
And
that stuff can get hard.
Well, I mean, I have it on right now. But if I'm sweating, it will not move. And in fact, it's kind of like I have to really wipe to get it off. But I don't touch up anything if I'm on stage when I'm in the quick change booth. I only touch up my lips because they touch up my cologne a lot. And so it's hairspray over the face. And then on a daily basis, I'll use a lighter hairspray over the makeup, and it literally keeps it. You could sweat through it.
And does it transfer?
It keeps your makeup from transferring onto people.
Yeah.
Men love that.
Yeah.
Men love that.
I've had my whole face.
Men love that because it's not on their collar. And it's humidity with the summer coming up. It's amazing.
Yes.
And it's so funny.
It doesn't break you out or anything?
It doesn't because it's just going right on your makeup. I would do it every single day. But for special occasions and you really want to be set, it sets your powder. Like I would do your regular setting spray, but then spray with.
Oh, okay.
My best friend, who was Monique Samuels, she was on Real Housewives of Potomac. She needed a yellow dress for the reunion. And I simply said to her, I was like, where are you going to find a yellow dress in November? She was like, I don't know. She was like, her assistant was like, you should do it. And I was like, no, I don't make clothes for other people. Like, and here's the funny thing. In meet and greets, fans would always come up to me and say, who makes your costumes? And I would say, oh, I make them. Do you make things for other people? Like, oh my God, would you sell your costumes? And I was just like, no, I don't have time to do this. I'm like touring, I'm doing all this stuff. And at one point I was performing like 18 times in 3 days every single weekend. And so I didn't have time. I would be burnt out. So I didn't have time to. And so when Monique asked me to make this dress, I was like, no. I initially said no like several times. And then finally I was like, well, if I was going to do it, this is what I would do.
Hypothetically.
And she's like, okay, well, yeah, let's do that. No, I didn't do it. So I ended up doing it. The dress had like 27,000 Swarovski crystals on it. And the dress went viral. All by hand, one by one, like in 2 weeks. And so the dress, she said to me, even before she's like, this dress is going to go viral. Like, you better get ready. Like, you better get your cards ready, get your, like, what, all online. And so the day the dress premiered online, it went viral, but I immediately went to the bank and started Riley Knox Couture because I was like, okay, I guess I have nothing but time. I didn't perform for 20 months. And it's killing me. Like I went through a terrible mental health thing with because I had been performing for at that point, I think about 18 years.
Yeah.
And I had never been off of stage for longer than a month. And the only reason for that was when I broke my back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, I've never had a long period of time where I did perform. And I was like, are we ever going to be able to do
it's a drastic shift in your lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a drastic
We didn't know what was going to happen.
We did not.
People weren't going to concerts. So I was like, okay, I guess this is the new thing. I'm never going to perform again.
Yeah.
So, so I did the dress for her. And then after, you know, I announced Rather Than Couture, then I had several other Bravo celebrities ask me. I think it was Toya Bush and Dr.
Simone from Married to Medicine.
From Married to Medicine. I did their dress. And so basically in the course of 6 months of having Rather Than Couture, I had over 27 looks on TV. Mm-hmm. And it was moving too fast.
Yeah.
One, it was time for me to, like, the world opened back up and it was time for me to get back on stage. So I had to put it on pause. And then it was also just me.
Yeah.
You know, it was just me. And I think people thought because of Monique's dress, the way it looked, I think people thought that I had a whole
like an
team.
assistant.
All these people and all this stuff. And then I got all these, like, these stylists hitting me up like, oh, like we want to pull some of your stuff, and I'm like,
there's nothing to pull.
Here are these costumes.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how it happened.
So in addition to those, you also did Drew Sidora's.
I did.
Reunion dress.
Yeah.
You did some confessionals for Candy and Karen. Candy Burris in Atlanta and Karen Huber in Atlanta, Potomac.
Yep.
And you did my reunion dress for Ready to Love. It was beautiful. Yes.
I did.
The girls were sitting up real nice. So what is your process for designing a reunion gown as compared to maybe some of the other looks that you do?
Well, the biggest thing with reunion gowns is it has to not only, like, okay, if you were just going to an event, the dress needs to look good for, like, you know, your pictures and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But this is, standing. And this is on TV. But it also has to sit well.
Yeah.
And I always battle with clients because if the dress has a slit in it, I am always like, what side do you want the slit on? And they don't know which side they're sitting on until like maybe like a few days before the reunion.
So we didn't know. Right. So we got there. Yeah.
And then this just happened with Ashley's dress also. And I noticed that she's sitting on the side opposite of the split. Funny thing with Monique's dress is her split was in the middle because of the way the fabric was and the design on the fabric. I cut, like we kept saying, like, what side do we want on? I said, let's just put it in the middle.
Does that make it easier, it being in the middle?
It did.
Okay.
It did. But then I ended up making a reunion gown for her for Love and Marriage, the first season. And it had a train on it. And it's like, okay, well, what do we do? You know?
Yeah, with that train.
Yeah. The first dress didn't have a train on it. And so it has to look good on TV. I'm good with making things look good on stage. I come from a costume background. You know, a lot of bling, a lot of whatever. I did do a dress for Latrice from Bell Collective, and that had no bling on it. And that was probably the first reunion dress I made that had no bling yet. I was most simple. It was also black, but and it was very different. So it was kind of a challenge to give a black dress with no bling camera appeal. You know, so there's a lot of things to take into account. Not everything looks good sitting down, right?
Yeah.
Not everything looks good sitting down, so I have to always take that into account. I'm one of those people that I don't like people having to figure out the right undergarment, so I just build undergarments into everything.
Lifesaver. Oh my gosh, she had everything.
Oh wow.
And then it had snaps.
Yeah, so Ashley's dress, this recent dress, it looks like her dress is completely sheer. It actually has a full corset in it. Like I snatched her. Because Ashley doesn't have she's top heavy.
Okay.
Now, and so I snapped. And it's so funny. It's so funny because every client I have says, I don't want to breathe.
Yeah.
I said, that's it.
He said,
Karen Huber from Potomac. She's like, I made a course of her. She's like, I don't care about breathing.
Yeah.
I'm like,
but for hours, you know how long those reunions are too.
They're a little snatched.
Yeah, I say that, but I do understand because on stage, I'm like, I want to look as snatched as possible, but I gotta dance on, just sitting down. So that's the things to take into account on when you're making a dress for TV for a reunion dress.
And if you want to look good on the outside, you have to make sure you're good on the inside. And so here are some clips from us talking about health as well as self-care. To make sure that, the insides are all good.
got to match.
The point is that like there are women out there, you know, not even just those that are celebrities, but those that I know, you know, in real life, and they're having babies later in life. So
it's definitely possible. Like you said, like women are having kids later in life. Just because you turn 40 doesn't mean like your eggs are no longer sunny side up. They're not scrambled hard. They just might be a little over easy.
And you know, and luckily I've been checked out and the doctor says I'm still producing more than enough eggs. So I'm happy about that. You know, I just feels like it, and I've been trying to change my mindset around it, but feeling like that window, like time is against me. I mean, just saying, like feeling like time is against you can be something that can be difficult, and also having to embrace that, like, hey, life can still be beautiful. You can still have a beautiful family, beautiful network, beautiful everything if children is not in the cards for you.
Yeah.
And just embracing that.
Yeah. So for me, my husband and I have made the decision now he's 43, I'm 42. We've decided that we aren't going to have kids. Like if we got married 5 years ago, probably would definitely have popped out, you know, a little mini me. Like my family, I always say our genes are very strong. My mom looks just like her mom. I look just like my mom.
Just like her.
Yeah. So I was always curious, like you said, of what my child would look like when we pass those genes down. But at this stage of our lives, we've made the conscious decision that, we enjoy our lives as we are now, and making that huge life change is just not where we are. If this was 5 years ago, absolutely. At 43 and 42, maybe not so much. The thing that I'm most concerned about making that decision, the thing that really made me lose sleep was, who gonna take care of me when I get old? You know what I mean? So I watched when my grandparents got sick. And eventually passed away. I watched how my mom and my uncle like really took care of them and like taking them to doctor's appointments and making sure that they, you know, where they moved in with them, and you know what I mean, making sure that everybody was taken care of and was surrounded by love and family. And so it's like, okay, we don't have kids. Who gonna wipe my butt? You know what I mean? Who gonna like, you know, come visit me and you know, take care of me and check in on me? So that is my biggest fear about not having kids. Now, granted, we do have godchildren. We have nieces and nephews. But they'll have their own parents, and you know, that's a possibility that they might not be around. I mean, I'm putting in the work now to like, hey, don't forget about me. You want to go shopping? Let's go shopping. You know what I mean? So you know, you gonna take me to a good nursing home, you know? But so that is my biggest fear of that legacy. You know, I do believe that I have a legacy through my studio and my students. I absolutely believe that I've touched the lives of the next generation and the generation after that, because I'm now teaching my students children. So I do believe that I have legacy in that sense, but the personal, like familial legacy is the only thing that is really like, I didn't have kids.
I feel that way too. I definitely feel that.
I just want to educate women and letting them know that here are some of the things that you need to look out for. Get those mammograms. If something doesn't feel right, if you're thinking something is wrong, assume that it is and get it checked out, especially if you have insurance.
Isn't it the case where like you are supposed to start doing it at the age of 40. Right? But like I've been told, especially because I'm someone, you know, who's in my it's genetics in my bloodline, that I should be getting it done even as early as now. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
You know, but the doctors won't always prompt you to do that, so it's something you almost have to request, is what I've been told, which kind of sucks, right?
It does, but it's also so important for you to be an advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the reasons why I'm on this other side, because I did not take my doctor's word for it. I said, keep going. I don't care what you say, lady. I want another test. You know, and because of that, they were able to catch things. Because of that, they were able to catch that I had breast cancer in both. You know what I'm saying? She was trying to tell me, no, just get the one. That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
And so you also have to be willing to challenge your doctors. It's okay.
Right. You are your best advocate.
You are your best advocate. And that's another thing, and that's not just for breast cancer, but we are at an age where our parents are older. We have to remind our parents to advocate for themselves as well. And we have to advocate for them too, you know. But
I did see this meme online the other day that I just felt like was so accurate. It was like, you know, I don't want to be booked and busy. I want to be moderately busy and well rested. And I was like, yo, I love that.
I love that. Like, when did booked and busy become a badge of honor? Like, I would much rather be rested and recovered and recharged instead of booked and busy. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely taking that time to listen to your body and like make adjustments along the way, whether it's adjusting your own thoughts about it, right? Or adjusting others, people's expectations of what you can do and how you're going to be able to show up. I mean, it's just incredibly important.
I do remember, like, when I turned 30, like, my life was kind of all over the place. I had a lot of health issues. It's when I had cancer. And it just made me switch my thinking. Like, why am I working so hard when life is so short? Now, I'm a hard worker. I'm always going to grind. I'm a very ambitious woman. But I want my life to be filled with more happiness and relaxation instead of work and busyness, like we talked about, not being booked and busy. And I think that when I changed my mindset, I was able to show up better in my work. When I stopped making work my priority and make me my priority, I showed up better in those spaces. So I think that a lot of women sometimes feel like, oh, I can't pamper myself. I can't, recharge or do self-care because I have to do this, this, and this. I have to take care of the family. I have to take care of the kids. I have to work. I have all these responsibilities. But how are you showing up for those responsibilities when you're not taking care of yourself? And I think that that's really important to make sure that your cup is full so that you can, feel others. Like when you're on the airplane, they say, the mask drop, put it on yourself before you help somebody else. Make sure that you are taken care of so that you can be your best self for all those other responsibilities.
Absolutely. I'm definitely a big believer. I work to live. I live to work.
Yes.
Being slave to the work schedule and not being slave to, like I said, again, the expectations that's something that my sister often says. She's like, no one told you had to do these things. You subscribe to these things. And then you're in service or servitude to the things that you signed up for, to the things that you put on yourself. So, making sure that I'm just being realistic about that. I also thought it interesting when you were talking about like women and all the different roles that we play. I do think that there's something about, and I know you don't like to be called this, us millennial women. Right. Something about our generation, right? That's like a little particularly sensitive to this. Because I'm thinking about it, like, I really don't know if my mom really was ever thinking about it in this way of like, okay, how am I pouring into myself? How am I balancing this out? And maybe she did, and maybe it's worth a conversation me having with her, but I just feel, I don't know if generations previous to us, if women have really been able to have the ability or flexibility or, have really had that luxury of being able to say, what about me?
Yeah.
I mean? I don't know if my mom ever had that what about me moment. Like, I can't remember one time my mom going on like a girls trip or my mom doing something like that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's an extreme, right? A girls trip. But like, I don't remember my mom being like, yeah, mom's going to go to the spa. I don't remember her saying that. You know
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of think that I'm happy to see that ourselves in addition to all these different roles that we have. But I just don't think that has happened in generations before us.
And we love a good game. We like to end every episode with a good game. And this one was one of my favorites with Lonnie B.
Oh my God. That was great.
Portia Williams' divorce.
African. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay. Drea and Joey Chavez having babies with younger guys.
I don't know who that is.
So Drea, the chick that just had the baby by
from Love and Basketball, she has
she's 30 something, he's like 20 something, and then Joey Chavez,
not Love and Basketball, Basketball Wives, Basketball Wives,
Securing the bag,
securing the bag.
Yeah, okay. Secure the bag.
Okay. So Bernie Sanders just introduced a bill to have a 4-day work week.
Homelessness. We ain't gonna make no money.
No, you're not gonna lose. There's no change in pay. It's just gonna be
no change in pay.
4 work days and then 3 weekend days.
Oh, obesity. Because we're gonna be at home just eating.
Okay. How do you feel about it being Biden Harris versus Trump again?
The WWE.
Oh, come on.
Yes. Harassment match.
All right. Okay, so today we're going to do this or that.
Okay.
Or one's got to go, whichever way you want to, and it's going to be rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
Do you want to kick us off?
I'll kick us off.
Okay, let's do it.
Are you ready?
Yes. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me take a
Okay, take a sip. Okay. Mm-hmm. You ain't gotta threaten me with a good time. Let's go.
Okay. Go.
All right. Dollar Tree or Family Dollar?
Dollar Tree.
Oh, why? Okay.
Because it's truly $1. I hate going into Family Dollar and be like, this is $5, $10. I was like, what kind of dollar store is this? I want it to be $1. Okay.
There. Yeah. Sedan or SUV?
SUV.
Really? But you got a sedan.
I know, but I grew up, I learned how to drive a car in an SUV. And, you know, I'm little, so I like to sit up high and see everything.
Yeah,
you know
what I'm saying? A sedan, but my next car is going to be an SUV.
Yeah, I want an SUV. I want to sit up above everyone. I want to feel like if you hit me, I'm not going to go off spiraling. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of thing.
Okay. Red wine or white wine? I mean, I know what we sipping, but...
Well, I prefer white wine. I do.
Okay.
I do. I just feel like it's refreshing. Sometimes red wine makes me sleepy.
Oh, okay. Summertime, I'm definitely going with white, but if I have my choice, I'm going with a cab.
Yeah, seasonally, I'm going to try to keep it red if I have to. Yeah.
Okay. Lobster or shrimp?
Shrimp.
Okay.
I just think that there's like so much more you can do with shrimp. And it's, you know,
on a regular basis, I'm definitely shrimp, but the fancy island, give me some lobster. Yeah. I'm fancy. Double Dutch or hopscotch?
Definitely hopscotch.
Can you double dutch?
No.
Okay.
And that's why I had to say hopscotch. I don't know when to jump in and when to do all that. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. They were like, Sabrina, you turning doubles right now. I'm like, okay, let me step back. You know what I'm saying?
You being double-handed. Okay.
Right, I was like, you know, I couldn't. So yeah, no, it's a hopscotch for me. But I was good at some hopscotch. Let me tell you now. I could like jump over and in the line and you know what?
Yeah, okay. Angela Yee or Just Hilarious?
You know what? I loved Angela Yee's journalism. Okay. Because I think she really brought some journalism to it. But Just Hilarious is just funny.
Okay. So and she's from Baltimore, up the street.
So I'm going to choose Just Hilarious.
Okay. Ooh, Candace Owens or Omarosa?
Neither. Throw them both away.
Both of them gotta go.
Throw them both away.
Both of them gotta go.
Away. I can't even choose between that.
Okay, we talked about...
Am I supposed to sip?
Yes. Take a sip for that one. All right. We kind of talked about this in a previous episode, but do you want to be ghosted or confronted?
I want to be confronted as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Like, I want you to be able to use your words and for us to have a grown-ass conversation. And at the end of it, we can both say, you know what, let's agree to disagree. Yeah. Or, you know, we should no longer be friends. Or let's let it breathe. Whatever, fill in the blank. But, like, a grown conversation. So maybe not confronted, but conversation? Whatever. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
All right, your turn.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of which, Houston or Atlanta?
I've never been to Houston. I want to go to Houston. I have actual friends in Houston.
You never been to Houston?
I've never been to Texas.
What?
We gotta go.
Well, you ain't missing a whole lot. You just missing a few places. Let me be very clear.
Right, Houston.
Right, exactly. I'll throw Galveston in there. Okay, that's like a little beachy area. It's kind of cool. Okay. Yeah. Austin's cool.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm going to go with Atlanta because I've been to Atlanta and shout out, we were just talking about it with Freaknik. But I do want to visit Houston.
We need to do a girls trip to Texas or Houston. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Spirit Airlines or Frontier Airlines?
Neither. Let me just drink.
Okay.
You know I'm bougie.
I know. I was like, I couldn't wait to see what you said.
You know I'm bougie.
Girl, I'm right now. I'm like, can I do this? Can I get on Frontier? I don't think I can.
I'm not.
I don't think I can, Sabrina. I don't think you can do it.
I'm not going.
You know, exactly. Zeus or Tubi?
I'm drinking again. I ain't watching either one of those either.
Really?
I have not seen anything on a Zeus or a Tubi.
Tubi got all the good black films, C-level black films when you just need, when the camera be shaking and, you know, you can see the mics and the...
I'm not entertained.
Hamilton or MJ the musical?
Ooh, you know I'm a theater buff.
I ain't seen either one of these. So
you haven't seen either one?
I know.
But Hamilton is on Disney Plus.
It's such a shameful secret. I don't like musicals. I know people are always like, Sabrina, and I'm like, I hate people who bust out into song for no reson.
Oh, you lucky I did not get blessed with the gift of voice because I would be a walking musical if I could sing.
Oh, I live with someone like that. I live with someone who's constantly singing.
I'm gonna go with Hamilton.
Okay.
But I loved MJ the musical. It was so good. The dancing was amazing. The performance was amazing. But I just love me some Hamilton.
Yeah, that was for y'all theater musical folks. I like theater. I don't like musicals. But for y'all musical folks, y'all really was like hyping up Hamilton like on another level.
I've seen it several times.
Okay. Who wore it best?
Okay.
Beyonce's braids or Erykah Badu braids?
I love me some Erykah Badu, but she need to chill. Beyonce, you know I'm a beehive.
I'm a beehive. I was gonna say Erykah Badu. Let's keep it like, you know what I'm saying.
But it's not like it's hers. Beyonce been wearing braids since Lemonade, since before then.
I have no problem with Beyonce wearing braids. I like it. Whatever. I just feel like it's true to who Erykah Badu is. It just seems like a little bit more part of her brand. I'm like, let's give respect to where it's due. Braids is Erykah Badu. Braids ain't Beyonce.
Erykah was wearing her head wraps, so I'm gonna go with Beyonce.
And underneath was braids.
Well, underneath Beyonce's weave is braids. So
okay, touche. Okay. Being a sister wife or having an open marriage?
Ooh, not the sister wives and the open marriage. I'm gonna go with open marriage.
Okay, I was gonna say sister wife.
Really?
Yeah, girl, you help clean this shit up.
Shared responsibility.
You help raise these kids.
Okay.
You help have sex with him when I don't want to.
I wouldn't want to know who it is, though. That's why I say open marriage and keep it over there. I don't want to know.
Yeah. I guess for me, I'm like, yeah, go to her room or go to her house tonight. Like,
yeah, I don't want it in my face.
Okay. But I'm number one. I'm number one, to be very clear about that. Okay. Kevin Samuels or Dr. Umar?
Let me just keep sipping because I don't need one of them either. All your questions you are giving me, I am not choosing.
Okay. Cheetah print or tiger print?
Ooh. Okay.
That stumped you. That's the one that stumped you.
Out
of everything I said.
I mean, since I have some natural tiger stripes, I'm gonna go with cheetah print.
I did not think that's where that was going. Oh, all right, y'all. We are gonna play our final game of this season.
Oh my gosh, the last game of season 1. Oh my gosh.
And this is actually one of my favorite games.
Okay,
this is one of my favorites.
Really? Okay.
Out of the 3 or 4 games that we've played, this one is like higher up for me.
Nice. Okay, I think my favorite one is the first thing that you think about when you say something.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would say I like this or that too.
This or that is always a good one.
This or that's a good one too. But yeah, that wine glass wisdom.
It's tough. We're gonna have to work on that in the off season.
It's so hard. It's like Jeopardy. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna play Sip or Spill. So obviously we're gonna ask each other some questions, and then we can either spill the tea, sharing our experiences, our thoughts, or we could take a sip to pass.
Yes. All right. So we're gonna get into it. All right. So this is the first one. What was your favorite episode on the Keep It Cute show, season 1?
Okay. This is hard for me.
It's like picking one of your favorite kids.
I know. Man, I'm going to have to choose the one with Walter.
Of course you do.
Yeah, because I was like, I just had so much fun, and he didn't know what the hell we were doing. You know what I'm saying? And he was just like, all right, babe, I'll come. I'll support you, and he did it, and he did it after like working out at the gym all day. He was so exhausted, but he did it, and I had a really good time. So I would say him as like definitely, and then a close follow-up. You didn't ask me this, but a close follow-up is going to have to be Lonnie B.
Okay.
That's like close one, because he was just hilarious. I was cracking up, like my face hurt from smiling so much, So
you had to choose Walter. Like if you chose anything else, you would have got a side eye.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. My favorite one is Lonnie B. We had a good time with my good girlfriend, and apparently you guys loved it too. So maybe we can bring him back next season as well.
Yeah, I want him to come back.
Okay, so we didn't take a sip on that one.
Okay,
we didn't take a sip.
All right. So if you could be friends with any housewife from any franchise, who would it be?
Past or present, like current or old?
Sure.
Okay. So this is tough. Well, old, like everybody knows I love me some Monique Samuels. Monique Samuels is my girl. Yeah, like in real life, she's my girl. But if I didn't pick Monique, which number one, I'm picking Monique. But if I didn't pick Monique, it would probably be Candy. Candy Burris from Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
So you wouldn't suspect that one. But yeah, I would pick Candy just because I think that she's a good time, but she's also about her business. Okay. I thought that we could, kind of have a good conversation about a few different things.
Okay.
What about you?
I think that currently I'd probably pick Portia Williams.
Oh, how did I forget her? She's so much fun.
She seems like she's just a blast. She's fabulous. She seems fun. Like, I'd be like, girl, let's go. Let's have fun. Let's do this. So I think that she would just be such a blast. So definitely would want to like be friends with her.
I agree with that.
And I think she just serves. So I think she'd be a good friend to be like, what do you think about this? Should I get this? And she would just like totally girl out. I just think, And plus I think she would really help me like cross over into the wig game. Because her wig game is so strong.
I know that's right.
Making me want to, I'm like, dang, girl.
It be looking real good. And then when I try some, I'm like, it don't work for me.
Exactly. I was like, but I feel like if I had a friend like her, she would help me get there.
I ain't gonna lie. I definitely wore the wig on Ready to Love on our season.
Oh, yeah?
But yes, I agree. I think Portia Williams would be a great friend addition to our friend. She could be a third in our friend group.
Yeah.
And hey, we might be cousins now. I'm a Williams now, so we might be cousins.
Through marriage. But okay, here we go.
I mean, it's her too, right?
Okay, what else? I was going to say, past, I think that, I don't know. I think Kim Zolciak would have been a hilarious friend. I think she's crazy.
She is crazy. I don't know if so that's we talked about you can have your own separate friends and I can have my own separate friends. So that would be your separate friend.
I think she'd be hilarious. Her and she had Big Papa at one point.
But she was going back and forth with the husband. Like
with her current husband?
Yeah, what's his name?
Croy?
I was about to say Craig.
Oh, I didn't know she went back and forth with him.
It doesn't
matter.
I
stay out of grown people's business. So I'd have been like, girl, I'm going to let you handle that. Meet me outside when you're ready to go. Right. When you're ready to have a drink. Okay. Yeah, I like people who are very much themselves. I was going to say her. I was also going to say Nene because I think Nene's going to be kind of cool too.
Nene is funny.
Yeah, I think Nene is funny. I'm strictly basing this on who I think would be a good time.
Yeah, clearly.
That is all I'm basing this on.
And we're basing on what they show us, which always isn't quite real. So yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. So far, we've been spilling the tea. We haven't taken a sip, and I'm like,
I should have chose a housewife that had a private plane. Damn. Next time.
Next time. Okay. So, what is one of the wildest fashion trends like that you've taken part in back in the day or now that you regret? Like, what in the world was I thinking when I did that?
Damn, wildest fashion trends. I mean, I remember my eyebrows got real thin at one point.
Yes, we did that.
Eyebrows real thin. And I have naturally like thick caterpillar eyebrows. And so I remember they got real thin. I didn't get to the point where I was like drawing them on, but they were like really thin. Do you know what I'm saying?
I forgot about that phase.
So that was something that I did that was like interesting. I also kind of got into that, the clips. Do you remember the clips that used to be like, used to be like a whole metal thing right here? So yeah, I got into the clips too, and I look back, I'm like, that was just so tacky. Why was that even a thing?
Right. I would say a lot of my fashion choices from the 90s were questionable. But I mean, we were young, and some of
it was, what though? Because the 90s fashion is coming back, and I'm like,
when I look at some of the old fashions, like I remember particularly back in the day, this was like the Clueless era when people wore like tennis skirts and like the knee highs. You remember that?
Yes.
And so I was super skinny as a kid. Like I was rail thin. But so my legs were so skinny, I could never keep the knee highs up. They would always just slide. They would just slide down. So I remember having pictures of like baggy knee highs. Yeah. So I'm like, oh girl, that was not a trend for you. Yeah.
I do want to bring back the chokers.
Oh, I remember those.
The chokers were something I was, especially like the plastic ones, like
and then they had the little thing right here, the little circle,
the little charm and stuff like that. I want to bring that back.
Okay,
that was cute.
Do it.
That was cute.
You do that.
I was
you go for it.
That's the only thing I could really think of. Like there were some pretty ugly platform shoes that I wore in the 90s too.
And I'm thinking about the French rolls.
Early 2000.
I did the French rolls with all the hard curls with the pump it up hairspray. Yeah. I did all of that.
A fashion trend that I was actually just talking to Walter about. I was like, I don't know how the hell we did this. Do you remember like in the early, almost kind of going into like mid 2000s, you would go to the club with like a business dress on and a blazer?
And a blazer. Don't give me a big belt. A big wide belt and a blazer.
I was like, what the hell were we thinking?
That was day to night, honey.
Yes, it was. It was like, I remember I'd be at work and they'd be like, oh, you look nice today. And in my back of my mind, I'm like, because I'm going to go to the club today.
To the club.
I'm going to the club tonight. And you used to be able to go from work to happy hour to the club all in the same outfit because it applied to everything. It was great.
That is so true. I had a blazer in every color with a nice wide belt to cinch it in.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
hot as hell in that damn club.
Right. You couldn't tell. You didn't know if we were at the club, at happy hour, or a boardroom.
Right. That's a fashion trend that I laugh at because I'm like,
yeah. I mean, but blazers have come back, so
they have. Did they ever leave?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I love me a blazer. Hold on, I'm gonna have to hold on to that one. I don't care. What
Don't let it go. Don't let it go.
I did another thing that's come back because while we're on the topic is side parts. Do you remember how like side parts were like like having a middle part was considered like whack. It was all about the side part, and then somewhere along the way things switched up, and it became all about the middle part. But now
I switched it up already. Like I'm always between a middle and a side part. It
your whole
depends.
life.
I think that back in the day I only did side parts.
Yeah, back in the day it was only side parts.
Yeah, now I switch it up. But back then I only did side parts.
Yeah, like there was no mid parts back in the day.
I have a widow's peak, so getting this middle is always difficult. It's always a little asymmetry.
Yeah, it always is. You spend so much time
switching
those hairs back.
You got to start down here. You got to start all the way down, and then just start down to get that center.
Yeah, I mean, like back in the day, it was all about like the Aaliyah swoop too. You didn't have that. You know what I'm saying?
You couldn't tell me nothing.
You wasn't doing it. Yes.
Nothing.
Yeah, so that's another thing. I'm like, I'm bringing the side part back because of that.
All right, summertime side.
Yeah. Okay, summertime side. All right, so describe your dream house.
My dream house. Ooh, my Barbie dream house. It's on I know, girly girl. Can't help it.
It's gonna be all pink.
Actually, it won't be all pink. I don't really need my house to be pink. I think I need a mature blush is not a problem though. But it needs to be.
Okay.
But I would love for it to be on the water. Oh. I would love to have a nice water view, some kind of water view. It would be a nice spacious home. Modern, but still, have some nice traditional elements, or maybe transitional elements, I'll say. I like amenities, so I don't have to leave the house. So I like to have like a theater. I like to have like a steam room, a gym, a wine room, space to entertain because I love to entertain. That way I don't have to go anywhere. Everybody can come to me. So, that would be my dream home. A big, spacious home overlooking the water.
I love that. I love that so much. I feel like that checks a lot of boxes for me too. Like it doesn't have to be on the water, but it'd be preferred. If not, it has to have like an incredible view.
Yeah.
And if it's not on the water, it has to have water like a pool or something like that. There has to be some type of body of water there. Yeah. I need a jacuzzi too. Okay. I'm saying that has to happen. That needs to be there too. But I love like Mediterranean style homes. Like I love like big arches. I just think it makes the home look so grand and like
that's the West Coast in you. I
think
it
is like that hacienda style. I love that. Lots of natural light, like floor to ceiling windows. Love that. High ceilings.
Somebody gotta clean them windows though.
By that point, I'm gonna be like, get it done. Get it done. I would say that I wanted to have like an organic feel to it. So lots of plants, lots of like textures, things like that. I fucking love that shit. Steam rooms, all that type of stuff there.
Good for the hair.
Yeah, just all over.
And the skin.
The skin is just like so good for you. And all the things that you mentioned in terms of like gyms and all that stuff, that'd be great too. Like I think amenities would be great. But for me, it's like I want to flow and I want to feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like my little palace in my own way, Absolutely. I just like that. So yeah.
Entertainment space, but then some private space. Let the men have their little man area. They can do that.
Fat ass closet.
Oh, how could I forget?
Oh my God. I am so tired of figuring out where to put my shoes.
Yeah.
I need plenty of shoe space. Okay?
Turn the whole room into a closet.
Yeah. I may need one for clothes and one for shoes.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like that to that level. You know what I mean? Because I'm just so tired of like trying to hide away shoes.
Yeah. Look at us though. We went through the whole game without even taking a sip. I mean, I think I sipped anyway. But
you know what else you didn't say? You didn't say anything about a sex room in your new house. Which I'm definitely gonna have.
Kudos to you.
Yes. Have you seen that show? That show, Sex Room?
No. Okay, what is it on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay, well, she's spilling all the tea, and I am here for it. I love that for you.
This little British lady comes in. She asks them about their like lifestyle, their sex life, and then she builds like a sex room based off of their lifestyle. And I was like, why is that such a novelty? Like, if you have a mansion or if you have a huge house, like, why not have a room?
But why not do it in every other room? Why you need a specific room?
I guess some people need hardware and other things to like, get her done. But literally. I mean, it's just a place where, like, when you walk in, it's supposed to put you in the mood.
Okay, I can see that. I can see a nice area with that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna add that to my dream house. Sorry, before we were like closing out, I was like, one more thing,
one more room to add. Yeah. I am not mad. I'm here for it. I think my husband might look at me crazy. He's a little more conservative than I am.
We need a whole room for this.
Yes, we do. Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, we do. Gonna end up being his favorite room.
Right, exactly. All right, well, that was our last game
of this season.
We ain't going nowhere, y'all.
Okay, of this season. Because, you know, we need to take a break. We need to take a break.
Just a quick little break. And so we want to let you know that we really appreciate you. We really appreciate you tuning in and supporting us in our season 1. And we're not going to be gone for long, y'all. This is not going to be a long break. We're not going to act like some of those other shows that have you leaving, you know, have you waiting for a year and a half before the next season comes out. No, we're going to be right back here the first week in June, Thursdays at 8. Just give us 1 month, little break. Let's regroup, and make sure that we bring even more cuteness and conversation to you in season 2.
Yes, thank you for rocking with us. Please leave comments, feedback, topics, things like that you would like to hear and see. We are definitely taking that all into consideration.
Yeah.
And just thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep it cute.
Yeah, guys. We'll see you soon.